Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this first video on the topic graph data structure. Actually, graph is a data structure which is collection of vertices and edges. Now, as you see in the picture given below, the circles which I have drawn labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are vertices. So these circles with labels are called vertices. And the lines which are connecting these circles are called edges. Okay. You can see that some of the vertices are not connected using edges. For instance, you can observe that vertex 1, this is vertex 1 here, and vertex 4 are not connected using an edge. So some vertices are connected using an edge and some are not connected. Now, actually, a graph, can model lot of real life situations. Why do you use graphs in programming? Because graphs exist in real life. For instance, you can just imagine this graph which is shown is a computer network. Now, in a computer network, we have six computers. Let's imagine these circles are basically, or vertices are computers. And the links, that is edges, shown between the computers or vertices are the links or the cables which we have laid down between the nodes or the computers. So this particular graph really models a computer network containing six computers. So what if we want to send a message in this computer network from node 1 to node 6? Then as you see, there is no direct cable from node 1 to node 6. So communication is not possible directly from node 1 to node 6. So understanding this graph, our network understands that if the message has to go from computer 1 to computer 6, then it has to go via 5 maybe to 6, or it can go from 1 to 3, 3 to 6, and lot of other methods like 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. So, but directly the message cannot go. So basically, this is just one example I have given of a graph. You can just imagine that this graph shown is basically your house. Maybe your house has six rooms. So each vertex here is a room, and these links, that is edges, shown between the rooms are the gangways between the rooms. It is understood that you cannot go from room 1 to room 6 directly, but you will have to go through room 5 to room 6. Or you may have to go through room 2 and 3 and then reach 6. So this graph really models your house. All right. Now, once we have seen how a graph looks like, it contains vertices and vertices are joined by using edges. Now let's see how to define a graph. I mean, if you name this graph as G, let's say this entire diagram is named as G, then G can be thought of as collection of V and E, where V means vertices and E means edges. And really this graph is collection of vertices and edges. What is graph after all? The definition is graph is collection of vertices and edges. Now this V is very well written as set of vertices, and as you saw in the above diagram, the vertices we have is 1 2 3 4 5 6 vertices, and this E is the set of edges. So E is written as set of ordered pairs. So 1 comma 2 means that there is an edge from 1 to 2, or 1 comma 5 means there is an edge from 1 to 5, or 2 comma 3 means there is an edge from 2 to 3, and so on. So all these edges have been written as ordered pair. One thing to understand here is that the diagram which I have drawn over here on the top is not at all important practically. Practically, what is important is the definition. Now, you only tell me, think about it. If somebody gives you this description of the graph, that which vertices are there 1 2 3 4 5 6, and how the edges connect the vertices, then really you can draw the graph. So the diagram is not important. You tell me, if you are given this description that there are six vertices and this is how they are connected, and you are asked to draw the graph, then you may say that these are the six vertices, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You may draw the vertices as per your convenience, and then you will use this edge set. You will use the edge set and say 1 and 2 are connected, 1 and 5 are connected, 2 and 3 are connected. So if you use that edge set, you will see this is how the vertices are connected, 1 and 2, then 1 5 is connected, then 2 3 is connected, after that 2 4 is connected, then 2 5 is connected, further 3 4 is connected, and 3 6 is connected. We have 5 connected, then 4 6, and finally 5 6. Now you see the graph I have drawn here on the right hand side using the description given below is absolutely same as the graph drawn on the left hand side, but both graphs look absolutely different. So these two graphs are isomorphic. What do you mean by isomorphic is they are actually the same graphs, but appearance wise they appear different. Both have six vertices, both have same edge set, same vertex set. All right. So two different people drawing graph may draw the graph in such a way that graphs appear differently or they are isomorphic. Once we have defined what is a graph, now let's see how to store a graph in the computer memory. Obviously, if such a graph is given to us, just imagine a graph is given with four vertices. Let's take a simple graph, very, very small graph. We are given a graph of four vertices labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, and edges connecting them. Now you are intelligent enough to know that we are not going to store the graph in the form of picture like this. I mean, what are we going to achieve by storing this graph in the form of a picture? We need some data structure. We need an array, matrix, linked list, some method by which we will be able to process the graph in our computer program. So the graph here is stored in two methods. Any of the two methods can be used. First method is known as adjacency matrix method. Now in this method what we do is, given a 4 vertex graph, check that number of vertices are 4. Given a 4 vertex graph, we will construct 4 by 4 matrix. As you see, the matrix constructed here contains 4 rows and 4 columns. So we have 16 elements in the matrix which will be filled with 1 or 0. An element will be 1 if vertex I is adjacent to vertex j. Otherwise, vertex I, if not adjacent to vertex j, element that particular element will be 0. Let's see. Let's fill in this matrix. I will overwrite these elements. Let's question what should be the value of 1 1, first row, first column. Let's ask, is 1 adjacent to 1? Now, what do you mean by adjacent is? Vertex is adjacent to other vertex if there is an edge between that two vertices. So we say vertex 1 is adjacent to vertex 2 because there is an edge from 1 to 2. But vertex 1 is not adjacent to vertex 1 because there is no edge between 1 1. I hope you are getting what do you mean by adjacency. Adjacency means I is adjacent to j if there is an edge from I to j. So 1 is not adjacent to 1 because there is no edge from 1 to 1. So hence, first row, first column will be 0. If vertex is not adjacent, we are going to fill that entry with 0. Now come to 1, 2, first row, second column. Is 1 adjacent to 2? Yes, because there is an edge from 1 to 2. So 1, 2 is going to be stored as 1. What about 1, 3? You can see that there is an edge from 1 to 3 in the graph. So 1 to 3 is 1. 1 to 4, you can see that there is an edge from 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 is 1. What about 2 to 1? Second row, first column. Is there any edge from 2 to 1? Yes, obviously, if there is an edge from 1 to 2, there has to be an edge from 2 to 1, the same edge. So 2 to 1 will be 1. And the rest of the entries are filled using the same technique. As an example, what is fourth row, third column? Fourth row, third column is 1. Why? Because 4 is adjacent to 3. You can see fourth vertex is adjacent to third vertex because there is an edge from 4 to 3. Okay. That's the way how you construct an adjacency matrix. It will contain V rows and V columns, where V are the number of vertices. As there were 4 vertices, it contains 4 rows and 4 columns. The next method is known as adjacency list method. In this method, we will use a linked list. Now, what we do is, instead of declaring a double dimension array, as in the case of adjacency matrix, what we did was we declared a double dimension array. 2D array we declared for storing the graph. Here in the adjacency list method, we will declare single dimension array. As you see, we have not declared a 2D array, but we have simply declared a single dimension array. And that array has 4 elements. I have numbered the elements inside here. Yeah. So this is element 1 of the array, element 2, element 3, and so on. Now there are 4 elements because there are 4 vertices in the given graph. Had it been that there were 1000 vertices, we will have array of 1000 elements. Now you see every element in this array is a pointer, and it points, every element is a pointer and it points to a linked list. The linked list which contains the nodes which are adjacent to first vertex, adjacent to second vertex, adjacent to third vertex, and so on. I will draw this differently over here. Let's say we are having an array. The array is containing 4 elements. Each element is a point. Now we just question which vertices are adjacent to one. So let's see the picture. Which vertices are adjacent to first vertex? See the picture, the graph. The vertices adjacent to one are 2, 3, and 4 because these 3 vertices have edge from 1. So we will create a linked list containing vertex 2, then a next pointer, vertex 3, then a next pointer, and vertex. And the next pointer in this will be null. The fourth vertex will have null. Now, just a warning, never ever read this linked list as follows. Don't read 1 is adjacent to 2, 2 is adjacent to 3, 3 is adjacent to 4. Wrong. You read it as vertex 1 is adjacent to 2, 3, and 4. So these 3 vertices, 2, 3, and 4, are all adjacent to first vertex. So they have an edge from that vertex to first vertex. So who are adjacent to second vertex? See the picture, and the vertices adjacent to second vertex are 1 and 3. As you can see, 4 is not adjacent because there is no edge from 2 to 4. So for the second list, we are going to create 1, and the next is going to have 3. 2 is adjacent only to 1 and 3. Similarly, you can see the graph, 3 is adjacent to 1, 2, and 4, all 3. So we will have a list 1, 4. And next of 4 will be null. And finally, fourth vertex. Just check fourth vertex. Fourth vertex is adjacent only to 1 and 3 because there is an edge from 4 to 1 and 4 to 3. Hence, fourth list is going to have only 1 and 3. So this is exactly the list shown here. I thought of again producing it for explanation's sake, but this is how you draw adjacency list or you represent adjacency list for the given graph. Okay, let's revise this. Consider this graph. This is known as a directed graph. Now, this is a directed graph because every edge is having a direction. So we say 3, vertex 3 is adjacent to 4 because there is an directed edge from 3 to 4. And 4, vertex 4 is adjacent to vertex 3 because there is a directed edge from 4 to 3. Now you again observe vertex 3 is adjacent to vertex 2 because there is an edge from 3 to 2, but vertex 2 is not adjacent to 3 because there is no edge from 2 to 3. There is no directed edge from 2 to 3. So the above graph that we were looking at was an undirected graph. We said that if 1 is adjacent to 2, then 2 has to be adjacent to 1. It's a two-way link where there was no direction. But this typical example is a directed graph. Now we are asked to draw adjacency matrix and adjacency list for this graph. Just a spelling mistake. I meant ADJ here. Okay. So what will be the adjacency matrix for this graph first of all? So as there are four vertices again in this graph, we will draw a matrix of four rows and four columns. Now we will fill this matrix with 0 or 1. Now what will be 1 1? What will be this entry 1 1? First row, first column. Now you see there is no edge from 1 to 1. Rather, there is no edge from any vertex to the same vertex, isn't it? By the way, such vertices, such edges which start from a vertex and directly end at that vertex are called loops. These are loops. You can see that there is absolutely no loop anywhere. 2 is not connected to 2, 3 is not connected to 3, 4 is not connected to 4. Okay. So vertex I is never adjacent to vertex I itself. I hope you understand. Okay. Let's fill this matrix with zeros or ones. I hope you might have done it already. Let's see. 1 1 will be 0. What do you say? Because 1 is not adjacent to 1. But see the graph. 1 is adjacent to 2. Because 1 has a directed edge to 2. So 1 is adjacent to 2. 1 is adjacent to 3. As you see, there is a directed edge. 1 is not adjacent to 4. There is no edge from 1 to 4. What about 2 to 1? Now 2 to 1 will be 0. Because although 1 has a directed edge to 2, but 2 does not have a directed edge to 1. There is no such edge. So 2 is not adjacent to 1. Of course, 2 is not adjacent to 2. There is no edge from 2 to 2. 2 to 3 you observe is absent. There is no edge from 2 to 3. And there is no edge from 2 to 4. So entire row, second row is 0. What about 3? Is there any edge from 3 to 1? Absolutely not. 1 to 3 is there, directed edge from 1 to 3, but 3 to 1 is not there. Okay, 3 to 2, yes, 3 to 2 there is an edge, 3 to 3 no, and 3 to 4 there is an edge. What about 4 to 1? 0. There is no edge from 4. 4 to 2 is 0. 4 to 3 is 1. Observe 4 to 3 there is an edge, directed edge, and 4 to 4 is 0. So this is the adjacency matrix for the given directed graph. Now how do you draw adjacency list? What we do is we will use a single dimension array which contains four elements, isn't it? Because there are four vertices and each element here is going to be a pointer. It will be a pointer. Now we just see who are adjacent to 1 in our graph. So vertex 1 is adjacent to 2 and it is adjacent to 3. So we will have 2 and 3 in our list. We say vertex 1 is adjacent to vertex 2 and vertex 3. Similarly, you observe 2 is not adjacent to anyone. So this second pointer will be directly null. This second list is empty. It doesn't point to any adjacent nodes. What about 3? 3 is adjacent to 2 and 4. Observe. So vertex 2 and 4 will be there in this list. And finally, 4 is adjacent only to 3. 4 is adjacent only to 3. This is the adjacency list representation for the given directed graph. Let's see this graph. Now, I think this is the same graph by mistake. I have shown it. Let's see this. Now, this graph, first of all, is a directed graph. You can see that every edge has a direction. You can see that every edge has a direction. So this is a digraph. In short, directed graph is also known as digraph. And each edge is having some weight associated. Like you see, weight on this particular edge is 5. Every edge has some weight, although most of the weights are 5 here, but the weights can be distinct. Every edge can have unique or different weight, but in this example, most of the weights are 5. Now, what is this weight exactly? This weight many times is distance between the two vertices. Like we may say typically, distance between first vertex and second vertex is 5, or distance between first location, you can say first vertex, and sixth vertex is 5. Most of the times this is distance, but as we go further, I will tell you that these weights written can be amount of current flowing between the two components of the electrical circuit, or it can be pressure between the two bodies. Anything it can be. But most of the times we take this weight as a distance. This type of graph is known as weighted directed graph because there are directions to the edge. So I made a mistake here, small mistake. This undirected, I have written, no, it is a directed. It is directed and weighted graph. I hope you are understanding. So what will be the adjacency matrix for this? Now, adjacency matrix for this obviously will be a bigger matrix containing 6 rows and 6 columns because there are 6 vertices. So there are 6 rows here and 6 columns. Now 1 to 1 is 0, you see, there is no edge from 1 to 1. But 1 to 2 is there, 1 to 2. You see, 1 has a directed edge to 2. But then we are not going to store 1 in the first row, second column. We know that 1 is adjacent to 2. So usually we store 1, isn't it? But here we will store weight itself. I hope you are understanding. In weighted graph, instead of storing 1, if the vertices are adjacent, instead of storing 1, we will store weight of that edge itself. So 1 to 3, you see 0. There is no edge from 1 to 3. 1 to 4, yes, 5. That means 1 and 4 are adjacent and the weight between them or weight on the edge is 5. 1 to 5, as you see, is again 5 from the graph. And 1 to 6 is 5. What about 2 to 1? 2 to 1 has to be 0 because there is no edge from 2 to 1. You see, there is no directed edge from 2 to 1. So it will be 0. 2 to 2 is of course 0. There is no loop. 2 to 3 is 10. Check. There is a directed edge from 2 to 3. 2 to 3, there is a directed edge and the weight is 10. What about 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 2 to 6? All of them will be 0. There is no edge from 2 to any other. So let's fill this now. 3 to 1 is 0, 3 to 2 is 0. Just check this. 3 to 4 is 0, 3 to 5 is 0, 3 to 6 is 5. Correct? I hope I have not done something wrong. 3 to 1 is 0, 3 to 2 is 0, 3 to 3 is 0, 3 to 4, 3 to 5 is 0. I am so sorry. There is no edge from 3 to 5. 3 to 6 is 5. And you just check. Fourth will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 5, 0. Fifth will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 15. And sixth row will be, I think sixth is not adjacent to anyone. You can see that there is no outgoing arrow from 6. So is 6 adjacent to 1? No, because there is no arrow going from 6 to 1. We don't have any edge from 6 to 1. Please try to understand. All the arrows are incoming to 6. There are no arrows which are going out from 6. So 6 is not adjacent to any vertex. So all the elements in the sixth row are 0. So this becomes the adjacency matrix for the given graph. What will be the adjacency list? Let's see. I'm very sorry for my poor drawing. Just manage this. Okay. So now we are having 6 elements, and each element in this array is a pointer. Now we question who are adjacent to 1. The vertices adjacent to 1 are lot many. 2, 4, 5, 6. You can see 1 is adjacent to 4, 5, 6. So we'll simply create a list saying 2, 4, next is 5, next is 6, and then null. So how do you read it? Vertex 1 is adjacent to 2, 4, 5, 6, like that. So what is 2 adjacent to? 2 is adjacent only to 3. Now one blunder I did, sorry again over here. The blunder is that 1 is adjacent to 2, agreed. But what is the weight, isn't it? Now, had it been that there were no weights, we would simply say 1 is adjacent to 2. But now we have weights. So what we do is, apart from saying 1 is adjacent to 2, let me erase this. Just check this. I'm just erasing this list. Okay. So how do you store this weighted graph? Just check this. Okay. 1 is adjacent to 2. So we will say 1 is adjacent to 2, and we will store the weight also over here. We will have to store the weight. So the first element in the node here will give the vertex. That is, one is adjacent to 2, and the second element in the node will give the weight. One is adjacent to 4 with a weight of 5. Yes, one is adjacent to 5 with a weight of 5. One is adjacent to 6 with a weight of 5. I hope you got this. And the next pointer in this last node will be null. So 2 is adjacent to how many nodes? Only one node. 2 is adjacent to 3 with a weight of 10. Similarly, what is 3 adjacent to? 3 is adjacent to only one node. 3 is adjacent to only 6 with a weight of 5, and the next is null. What is 4 adjacent to? 4 is adjacent to only 5, only one node, 5, with a weight of 5. 5 is adjacent to only 6, isn't it? 5 is adjacent to 6 with a weight of 15. Just check this again. 5, vertex 5, check this. Vertex 5 is adjacent only to 6. There is a directed edge from only 5 to 6 only. But 5 does not have directed edge to any other vertex, isn't it? So 5 is adjacent only to 6 with a weight of 15, and 6 is adjacent to nothing. So it will be null. So this will be the adjacency list for the given weighted directed graph. By the way, we have graph always can be categorized into 4 categories. First type of graph is undirected graph, simple undirected graph, where edges do not have direction and edges do not have weights. There are no weights, no directions. Then second is directed graph. As you see, this example is a digraph, directed graph, but it is not weighted. There are no weights for the edges. Then the third type of graph is known as weighted undirected graph. Why? So edges will not have directions because it is undirected, but edges will have weights. For example, in this graph, if I remove all the directions, then the graph will become undirected. But if I keep all the weights, the graph will become weighted. And the fourth type of graph is known as weighted directed. So edges have direction and weights also. So these 4 types of graphs, are so important because all the algorithms and programs or procedures that we will see revolve around these 4 types. Thank you very much.